The sky was a dull shade of gray that morning, the kind that hangs heavy with anticipation, like the world itself was holding its breath. Clara Bennett sat at her kitchen table, nursing a cup of lukewarm coffee. Her small one-story home on the edge of Park Ridge Estates, an unnervingly quiet suburban neighborhood, was sparsely furnished. A few photographs hung crooked on the walls, mostly of Clara in uniform, and an old television buzzed quietly in the background. It had been 8 months since she left the Marines, discharged honorably after a classified operation overseas went wrong. Since then, Clara had retreated into solitude. No visitors, no friends. The neighbors often whispered about the quiet girl in the corner house, but Clara liked it that way, peaceful, predictable. That was until the McCarthys moved out. 3 weeks ago, a new tenant took over the house next door, a man in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. Tall, thin, always dressed a little too neatly, hair combed back to a military shine. Clara didn't catch his name the first time they met, and he didn't offer it. He just nodded, smiled too long, and said he was glad to be somewhere clean. From the moment he arrived, something about him didn't sit right. At night, Clara would catch glimpses of movement in his backyard at hours no one had business being outside. Shadows pacing, lights flickering on and off in rapid succession. Once, she saw him digging. She thought it might have been for a garden, but there were no plants, just a bare patch of disturbed earth. Still, she told herself to mind her own business. Until the screaming started. It happened 3 nights ago. A short, muffled cry, like someone trying to call for help with a hand pressed tight over their mouth. Clara shot upright in bed, her instincts kicking in before her thoughts. She reached for the Glock she kept in the drawer. Training took over. She moved silently through her house, peering through her blinds. Nothing. Stillness. Until she saw the flicker of movement in the neighbor's upstairs window. A figure, small, hunched, dragged backward into darkness. Clara called the police. They came, they knocked, they chatted, they left. The man even waved goodbye to the officers and smiled, that same too long smile. When Clara tried to follow up the next day, she was told there had been a misunderstanding and no signs of distress. They advised her to rest. Post-service anxiety, they murmured. But Clara knew what she'd seen. She wasn't crazy, she wasn't unstable. The next night, Clara waited. She turned off every light in her home and watched his house through binoculars, her heart pounding steadily like a metronome of dread. At 1:13 a.m. he came out, carrying something rolled in a tarp. He loaded it into the trunk of his car with careful, practiced movements, too smooth, too confident. She didn't sleep. The following day, Clara broke in. It was a calculated risk. She waited until he left for work. He drove a boxy, outdated sedan with government tags. By the time he turned the corner, Clara had already crossed the lawn. The house smelled wrong, like bleach and rotting meat masked with lavender air freshener, the kind of scent that clung to your nostrils and made your stomach churn. The living room was pristine, too pristine. No signs of life, no photos, no clutter, just a couch, a recliner, and a grandfather clock that ticked like a heartbeat. She made her way upstairs. The hallway was lined with closed doors. At the end, one door was padlocked from the outside. She picked it open in less than 20 seconds. Inside, the room was cold, freezing. A window unit hummed loudly, pumping chilled air into a room that looked more like a bunker than a bedroom. The walls were covered in plastic sheeting. Dried blood flecked the edges. A table in the center held tools, surgical, serrated, some rusted. But what froze Clara in place was the wall of photographs. Dozens of them, all women. Crying, screaming. Every photo was meticulously labeled with a name and a red X across most, except for the last one, a girl, young, maybe 19. her eyes wide with panic. No ex yet. Clara turned to leave and heard the front door close downstairs. He was back. Her mind raced. She crept out, every step deliberate and silent, but the floorboards betrayed her with a loud creak. The grandfather clock downstairs stopped ticking. He knew she was here. Suddenly, every light in the house shut off. Darkness swallowed her. She ducked into a hallway closet, heart hammering so hard she was sure it would give her away. Footsteps echoed up the stairs, slow, measured, taunting. He spoke softly, almost sing-song, "You shouldn't be here." She held her breath. The footsteps stopped just outside. Then silence. A minute passed, then two. She slowly reached for the door handle, and something slammed against the closet from the other side, sending her stumbling backward, biting back a scream. "Found you," he whispered through the door. She fired through the wood, once, twice. The door burst open and she lunged, tackling him. He was stronger than he looked. They fought, grunting, grappling in the pitch dark. He tried to stab her with something small and sharp, but she twisted his wrist until it snapped. He shrieked. She hit him again, hard. He fell down the stairs with a sickening thud. Clara didn't wait. Out the front door, down the street, blood on her hands, lungs burning, throat raw from panting. But when she got to her house, the power was out. The phone line was dead. She tried to get her car. It wouldn't start. Then she saw it. In the rearview mirror, he was standing at the end of the driveway. Bloodied, smiling, limping, but upright. He held up a single Polaroid. It was of her, taken through a window, last night. She screamed and ran back into her house, barricading the door. He didn't try to get in. Instead, he whispered through the mail slot. "You belong here, Clara. You belong. You're like me. Don't ruin it." She stayed up all night, gun-trained on the front door. The next morning he was gone, his house empty, abandoned, like he was never there. Police found nothing, no photos, no blood, no tools. Just a clean, empty house. But Clara knew, and she knew he wasn't finished. 2 days later, she got a package. Inside was a Polaroid. It was her sleeping, and on the back, in messy handwriting, "If you felt a chill crawling down your spine and couldn't tear your eyes away, don't forget to subscribe for more dark tales that blur the line between safety and something sinister. We dive deep into the shadows where evil hides behind friendly smiles, and sometimes right next door." And remember, you never really know who's watching you while you sleep. Until next time, keep your doors locked, your curtains drawn, and stay safe, or at least try to.